Hey there, it's Kai from the Techno Funk Boy, also known as Crethin from the Dice Dreary podcast, which is probably where you know me if you're watching this. So, if you've caught any of the previous episodes, videos on this, I don't know what to call them. You know that we are preparing for the release of the Dice Dreary soundtrack album, or at least the first in the series of them, and we are doing a little bit of remixing. We are doing some minor changes, some just stereo effects and that sort of thing. But there are some cases where I am actually changing what was originally on the show versus what you're going to hear on the album. And in some cases, in the previous video, it was just an out of tune guitar that I meant as a throwaway track, and it turned out to not be a throwaway track. So I really needed to fix that. But in this case, I just really did not like the sound of this synth. Now, I mean, you as you know, if you follow the Techno Funk Boy or the Dice Dreary podcast at all, you know the soundtrack is synth heavy. We are a synthwave band, and so I've pulled in a lot of classical and Baroque elements, but I've also pulled in those synth elements from the 80s and stuff. And so I like the synth sound. I don't mind the synth sound, but I didn't like this synth sound. And the reason is because I thought it sounded cheap. It sounded like like one of those Casio keyboards that you got as your first your first synth ever, and it just sounded like garbage. And so I was continually frustrated with this, and I finally decided to change it. So this is the part. This is the song "Dirges of Hope," and we hear this in full in episode 15 when they're in the basement of the church. Okay, so it's that higher one. All right, and so what I'm going for here is like that element of a like a choir. And choirs are not the easiest things to synthesize, but I just really don't like this. So this is the particular tone here. Now dig on this. I really actually do like it over here in the heart of the song, where the heavier synth sounds are swirling around it, and it pulls kind of the cheapness out of it a little bit. So check this out. I think it's because it's not in the forefront as much. So what you just heard, I'm gonna play it solo so you hear. All right, now with the whole song. So it sounds, I love it here. I love that sound here. I hate it at the beginning. And so what I did was I kind of went hunting for a different vocal sound, and I'm currently playing with the reverb and such on it, but this is kind of how that one turns out. So it's less choiry, and it certainly sounds like a synth, right? But it sounds like a more expensive synth, I guess would what we're looking for. So this is it by itself. I just like this. I like this so much better than this one. So, anyways, that is what we are playing with now. And we're going to dump that old version. So when you get the album and you're going to hear this, it's going to sound familiar, but it's going to sound like just a little bit off from what you remember in episode 15. I think it shows up once before then in this fuller form. It shows, the theme itself shows up a lot in the show. And we actually have a video on Patreon that goes into how I constructed this very, very simple melody and why I constructed it like that. But that's a video over on patreon.com/Dice Dreary, but not really the point of this one. So We're getting really close, here, and so we're going to finish this one up tonight, and I think we're going to be in good shape. And just keep an eye out. It's very, very soon.